Hi, everybody. I'm back. I wanted to show you some books that are some of my better edition of books that I have. My favorite books that I have. And we'll start with Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This is about a young woman. Oh, wait a minute. This is a Barnes & Noble signature series. 2009, I believe. Am I right? 2012. Sorry. 2012. And I got this on the internet for a really good price. Here's the end cover. So, yeah. Well, this is really good. It's about a young woman who leaves her home for the first time with some neighbors, and she goes to Bath. And it's kind of, she kind of gets herself into a spot of trouble. She's got a big imagination, and so, but it's really, really good. It's a good book. And then I have Jane Eyre. This is a Reader Digest copy. And I picked it up at my local library. And here's the inside. I love the peacock. It's kind of like the peacock feathers, a little bit. It has a few little illustrations in here, too. I forgot about that. Oops. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. It's got some illustrations. This is really, really kind of cool. Alright, so anyway, and I picked this up for a song at my local library. I think for like $1, $2. Well, they raised the prices of hardbacks to paperback was $50, and there used to be $50. Now paperbacks are $1 and hardbacks are $2 now. We got a little piece that goes. This is still in the book, and it kind of gives a rundown on the authoress and Jane Eyre, which, for those of you who don't know, is a story of a young girl who was kind of cast off by her family. Her parents died when she was young, and then she went to go live with her uncle. Her uncle died, and she kind of got cast off by her aunt and her cousins, and so she has to go to Lowood, and then eventually she gets herself educated, and she applies for a job at Thornfield Hall, and it doesn't take her long to figure out when she gets there that there's something not quite right. And then she meets the master, and they kind of get a thing going, and it's a good story. It's a gothic romance. So, and it's got a little tassel on there. So, and then we have Anne of Green Gables. Once again, Barnes & Noble. I think this is is it 2012 or 2015? 2012. And it has some really good illustrations in here too. Where are they? Sorry, I'm mindlessly going through. There's one, and there's a title page right there. So, yay! So anyway, this is the story of Anne of Green Gables. She's an orphan, and she comes to live at Green Gables with a brother and sister who live together, but never got married, and so they're raising Anne, and kind of like all the hilarity that ensues. So there are some pretty funny scenes in here too. I don't know what lies around the bend, but I'm going to believe that the best does. The Secret Garden. I love this edition. You can see the golden foil there in The Secret Garden. Once again, Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble makes really, really good books. Really nice. And this is the end papers. And this is the story of a young gal who, once again, this is like in Victorian times or late Victorian times, her parents die in India, and so she's sent home. There's like a fever epidemic going on, and so she ends up getting sent home to live with her uncle, and because her parents died at Misselthwaite Manor, and and she finds this secret garden, and that's locked up, and nobody wants to go in, and stuff like that. And through kind of helping to bring it back to life, she kind of helps her uncle and her cousin. So, and the secret garden bloomed and bloomed, and every morning revealed new miracles. Alright. Woo! I love the salmon pink. This is Persuasion. Jane Austen. It's got the little tassel. Alright. Alright, you got the side view. Yep. This is... Most of Jane Austen's heroines are younger, but this is one of the ones where she's a little bit older. Her name is Anne Elliot. And, like 8 years before, she had been proposed to by this one guy, and she had been persuaded, persuasion, not to marry him. And then he went on and had a successful career in the Navy, and he's got money now. And her family is having to rent out their home because they're financially in big trouble, and they have to do this or they'll lose their home. They'll lose their estate. And anyway, and they end up renting to the guy that she wanted to marry's sister and brother-in-law. Funny how life works out, right? Anyway, so it's kind of their story, and yeah. So, but you don't know what happens, well, you kind of do, but anyway. Anyway, they get together. I guess that's no big secret. And oh, I love the gold. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Pretty. All right. Here's the back. And here's the quote. One man's ways may be good as another, but we all like our own best. Jane Austen, Persuasion. Now, isn't that the truth? I don't think we need to show that one. Okay, and then this one is... Sorry about the light, folks. And this is Anne Bronte, Agnes Grey. And this is a story of a young lady whose parents, they don't have a lot of money, and so she has to go out and earn a living as a governess. And her first experience as a governess is kind of not a whole lot of fun. The little hellions, they cause trouble. And then, so... But anyway, and then she gets on... So it's kind of her going through that. Eventually she meets... she has like a couple of jobs. And eventually she meets a reverend, and it's all good. Alright. Whoop! Here's the back. And I got this, once again, at my local library for like $2, $1, something like that. So, I read that last year. Now this is Emma, once again, Jane Austen. Signature series, 2012. So, anyway, obviously I like Jane Austen. But anyway, this is one of my better editions of hers, because I wanted some really nice editions of her books. And anyway, So this is a story of a young woman. She's kind of like in a transition period in her life. Her mom passed away several years ago, but she's a young woman now. Her governess is leaving and got married, and she's kind of staying at home and taking care of her father. And so, but she has a good heart, but she's trying to match make people. She's kind of a snob in a little bit of a way, but she's trying to match make people, which kind of backfires on her. And that's kind of a funny thing too. So anyway, she has a happy ending too. Really good. It's good. It's alright. Probably not one of my favorite ones of Jane Austen, but really, really good. Aha! Pride and Prejudice. The all famous Pride and Prejudice. Let me see. Check the date on this. Check the date. This came out in 90. Is that right? No. Anyway, this is a really great. This is the Penguin Classics edition. This is really great. I love the color. And I love the birds on it. Jane Austen. I'll give you a look inside. There's no illustrations. But I wanted to demonstrate for you Jane Austen's sense of humor here. In the book, Lizzie Bennet, the main character, and her family, they're at the bottom rung of the gentry in this period. They're not poor by any means, but because of the law and stuff, and because Mr. Austen and Mrs. Austen didn't have a son, they only had girls. The girls will be passed over for the next male heir, which is their cousin, who's kind of a funny character in the story. And so he ends up coming to their place to say, to see, kind of in a way, as a peace offering, because he's taking the girls, home away, like when her father dies. Because this is what this is all about. When her father dies, they will inherit nothing. The wife, the girls, the daughters will inherit nothing. It'll all go to the cousin, and so that they will have nothing. And so, kind of as to find a wife and to kind of like help his cousins out, he comes intending to marry one of them, and he's kind of a funny character, as I said, and Lizzie's like, no. And I think we can all attest to awkward situations and awkward moments. Yes. And so this is a part in the book where her cousin tries to get Lizzie alone so that he can propose to her. And he kind of asks her mom for permission. Her mom's like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah." Mm-hmm. And Lizzie's like, "No. It's okay. I hope, madam, for your interest with your fair daughter Elizabeth, when I solicit for the honor of a private audience with her in the course of the morning." Before Elizabeth had time for anything but a blush of surprise, Mrs. Bennet instantly answered, "Oh dear, yes, certainly. I'm sure Lizzie will be very happy. I'm sure she can have no objection. Come, Kitty, I want you upstairs." And gathering her work together, she was hastening away, and Elizabeth cried out, "Dear mamma, do not go. I beg you will not go. Mr. Collins must excuse me. He can have nothing to say that anybody need not hear. I am going away myself." No, nonsense, Lizzie. I desire you will stay where you are." And upon Elizabeth's seeming really with vexed and embarrassed looks about to escape, she added, "Lizzie, I insist upon you staying and hearing Mr. Collins." All right, now, Peter Pan. This is Word Cloud edition. I've never read Peter Pan, so J.M. Barrie. So I really, really, really want to read this. And then, I should give you like a short update on this. And, because I did finish this. Anne Perry, Buckingham Palace Gardens. You kind of have it pegged out who the main instigator is throughout this. Just to tell you a little bit about the story, for those of you who haven't seen the earlier video, a young woman is found murdered. Prostitute is found murdered in the linen closet at Buckingham Palace. Because the Prince of Wales is having a house party while his mom is away. Because his mommy is away. But anyway. And so anyway, it's really good. You kind of have I don't want to give too much away, but it's all right. But you kind of know. It's just know who's involved, but you don't really put all the pieces together until the end. So anyway, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So okay, that's good. And right now, I'm reading The Woman in Cabin 10, which is really good. So I'm halfway through. I'm hoping maybe I'll get through. Maybe I'll finish reading it today or tomorrow. Yeah. So it's really, really good. And this came out in 2016. Yeah, 2016. And this is by Ruth Weir. And I read Into the Dark, Dark Wood, and it is really, really good. I'm already on page 208. And it's about this young journalist. She's on this maiden voyage because she's there ostensibly because she works for this travel magazine to drum up, advertising, stuff, to put in their magazines so that they, people buy passage on this ship, for vacations or whatnot. And then something happens on the ship, and yeah, so, and I'm a little bit more than halfway through, and I still haven't really figured out who did it. So, and I have no idea. My mom read it, and she really, really enjoyed it. So, The Woman in Cabin 10, Ruth Weir. So far, it's really, really good. Oh, I just got this in the mail. Jane Austen Home, Lucy Woolsey. And it's basically a biography of Jane Austen. So, and she's Lucy Woolsey, for you that don't know, she's like a famous historian. She also works at Hampton Court Palace. She's a curator of Hampton Court Palace. And she does historical documentaries for the BBC. So, and she's really kind of cool. I like her. But anyway, and I've been waiting around to get this book because it was like almost $30. Yeah, and I got this for $12 on Book Outlet. So, and then I got a better copy of Murder on the Orient Express, Agatha Christie. So, the newer movie version book. The book that comes out with the movie and stuff. So, major motion picture from 20th century, Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express. So I'm going to reread that again at some point. So, all right. Oh my goodness, we're already 19 minutes. So anyway, thank you all so much. I know I haven't done a book video in a while. So anyway, I wanted to catch you up to date on what I've been doing. So maybe I'll do a book tag or something real soon. And as soon as I get more books or whatnot, I'll get them. Okay. All right. Thank you.